Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Tyranny with me, Bring It On. So I don't think we inspected this last time. The Disfavored insignia has been violently defaced. Alright, let's talk to Pentabor. A hail to you, Guardian of the Law. The man dressed in merchant finery greets you with a smile. If you have a few excess rings weighing you down, best unburden yourself before battle. You know that if the Disfavored suffer a merchant in their camp, that must be a man selling only the finest provisions and armaments. He points to his collection of shields, rations, satchels, wineskins, and other sundries. Take a look and see if something interests you. How do you come to work with the Disfavored? Hard work and good suppliers. When Tudon's men came to my village, all the merchants were given different lists of what they were or weren't permitted to trade. He smiles, hand on hips. In Kyros' wisdom, my record must have been a good one, because I was given the right to trade in all manner of goods. Most importantly, arms. Not a lot of merchants can legally sell weapons. It was like that even before Kyros. So we have a noble scion option. My lord father is familiar with trade. Might I inspect your stock? He hesitates, and then corrects with a welcoming smile. Of course. By all means. I have nothing to hide. He makes a show of removing a crate's lid and showing off his wares with an open palm. His supplies are all perfectly ordinary. You see nothing out of place or unauthorized by his mercantile license. Alright, so this is where it's going to get hard for me. So I need more subterfuge so I can go back to the Edgering Ruins and open up that crate. There's also that other crate here, next to that merchant that we helped settle the dispute with the Disfavored with. But it's not in my character's character to do this. But I need it. I mean, I guess I could blame it on verse, but I know that it's my character having this conversation. So I think I'm going to regret it if I go with subterfuge. So I'm not going to pick the optimal choice, as much as it pains me to do so. Alright, everything seems to be in order here. Gosh darn it, man. I'm glad to hear it. There isn't a temptation in the world that would steer me from the good favor of Tunon or Kyros. Now let me see your wares. Pentabor rubs his hands, eyes alight. Let's see if we can find something you might like. Brotherhood Stout. Plus 10% melee damage, plus 2 armor, but minus 2 accuracy. Alright, so here is a core, a sigil of frost. But we cannot afford it. We're not... Okay, we're a little ways off from being able to buy that. Alright, let's talk to Rona. Got no time to chitter. Too much armor to mend. Speak to Uncle Pentabor if you've rings to trade.
Honest.
Rings, things, whatever. A pungent odor emanates from the sack slung over the soldier's back. A carefully skinned game hangs from this branch. They appear sickly and malnourished. Alright, let's go talk to...
Sorry, I can't.
Why not? Get down here. Let's go talk to... Barrick or Barik. You can't make out the ironclad soldier's expression under his twisted helmet. He merely stares at you. Alright, well I know a little something about that guy. We can't talk to him yet. What we got going on down here? More travels fast, Fatebinder. Anything to say to these guys? Nope.
Sorry, I can't. Sorry, I can't.
Alright, Isutanus? Isutanus curses the air as a blade of thin iron breaks in half beneath his hammer. Repairing weapons with scrap isn't exactly why I got into this craft, but our supplies are spent. He wipes the sweat from his brow and gets a better look at you. Why not forge bronze? Bronze will do in a pinch, don't get me wrong. It can take a beating and get bent back into shape, unlike the stubborn iron we have here. He glances at a pile of his work with dread. We always have plenty of tin and copper lying around, so supplies aren't the problem. It's a rare smith who can churn out military-grade bronze consistently. More often than not, it comes out soft. Look around camp. We're garbing the Legion head to toe in iron because it's cheaper and easier to produce for the masses. Couldn't do that with bronze. They call the Disfavored the Iron Legion for a reason. Strategy and skill may be our backbone, but our claws are made of iron. The good stuff that comes from the smiths in Lethian's Crossing. You're no stranger to that, are you, Fatebinder? He spares you a subtle wink. Iron isn't just a symbol of our strength and unity. It means friendship in some circles, as you've seen. So yeah, we sided with the disfavored in that conquest decision. You mentioned an iron shortage. I'm afraid so. The last shipment sent down to the Mittani went missing near Echo Call Crossing. I'm afraid we won't be seeing any more now that the valley is sealed. Forge-bound iron is Tunan's responsibility. Why is this the first I'm hearing of it? Keep your voice down. Asatanus flinches and lowers his own. Jeez, I can't read. Graven Ashe doesn't want to cause panic or pass any information to the Vendrian Guard. A best case scenario, the iron tumbled off a boat and is rusting on a riverbed. Worst case, it ends up in enemy hands. Alright, if I find myself in Echo Call, I suppose I can keep an eye out. I appreciate that, as does the Great General, more than you might guess. Maybe he isn't quick to offer his thanks to outsiders, but I know he'll be grateful for your help. It would be a boon to the war effort if our iron was recovered. Alright, you can trust me to handle this. I knew that Tunan wouldn't have dispatched you without good reason. The court isn't exactly known for gambling when the stakes are high. He glances to a crate beside him, and it points to a small set of notches on the wood. You see that? That's how we tell apart our iron shipments from the rest. Inconspicuous so people don't go snooping around. You want to keep your eye out for these. Good hunting. I need something else? I like to see your wares. Oh, these are all expensive. That looks pretty good. Nobleman's tunic. Not really my cup of jam. Let's sell some stuff. Have you found the iron yet? Asatanus gives you a look full of expectation. Show me what you have to sell. I don't have much. Anything you see here is yours for the right price. Alright, let us sell some of the armor, I think, because I'm not going to use that. Probably not going to use that. I might end up throwing that on. I'll hold on to that for now. I'm not going to use the nobleman's tunic either. I don't care for the... We'll hold on to that as well. Oh, this is actually worth a decent amount. I'm getting five bronze out of this. So I think we actually have enough to go afford that frost sigil. Let me go back and grab that. Let's see. Skip that. See what your wares. Doot, 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 doot. Yeah, let's grab that. Let's see if I can learn it. Whoops. There we go. Oh, the scroll contains a magical core which is used in spells to manipulate free. Okay. Okay, so I can add frost and sigil of focused intent. So expression used to create spells that affect single targets near the caster. And then select intensity sigil. Can I... Okay, so magic is universal to the party. Alright, so Frozen Grasp. Envelop a target in harsh winter cold, leaving them frozen for a time. A little bit of damage. Okay. Okay, it's pretty neat. Alright, cool. So I don't know how I'm supposed to add this to it. Maybe I can't yet? We won't worry about it right now.
Yes.
Alright, can't talk to Barrick. We talked to Isotanus. Got us another quest. What about you? Don't mind me, I'm just watching the troops. Alright, not creepy at all. A meager portion of game simmers in a large copper pot. Fragrant spices attempt to mask the potent smell of whatever creature they've decided to cook. Let's talk to Bitter Quip. Glory to the Voices of Nerat. Projecting his salutation for all to hear, the grinning blood chanter raps his staff against the ground as you approach. Fatebinder Donald, I presume. His smile quickly retreats, giving way to a sour scowl. I am Bitter Quip. I am here as the emissary of the Scarlet Chorus. Bitter Quip looks at you impatiently. What is it like working with the Disfavored? He scoffs, looking away from you for a moment before sniffing and returning his attention to you. Reporting to the Iron Hag is an insult. She fought one duel for her title. One. Her leadership must be continuously proven, earned, and defended. Weakness should bleed from the bottom of the army, not rise to the top. My assignment here is also an insult, one I will bear for the good of the chorus. A Bitter Quip sniffs the air, smiling with one side of his mouth. If only to see, with my own eyes, the failure of the Disfavored. That will be a fine day. What can you tell me of the Scarlet Chorus? The chorus is the future of the Tears. I feel only derision and pity for those who fear our inevitable ascension. Bitter Quip looks at you with a raised eyebrow. What in particular would you like to know? Tell me about the Voices of Nerat. He is Supreme Commander and Public Servant. He who sets us free, but directs all. Bitter Quip smiles as he talks, his face turning flush. The Voices of Nerat is the epitome of what each of us can be. A magician without equal, and the leader of uncountable numbers. The voices in the chorus are one, conquering, expanding, growing, changing, always stronger. Bitter Quip pounds his staff on the ground. Glory to the Voices. How did you come to join the Scarlet Chorus? The Doctrine of Strength speaks to me, and I answered its call, as did some of my arcane peers. I took to the chorus almost instantly. Unlike most, I cried not for the life of comfort lost to me. My magic invokes fear and terror, and I easily established my dominance over a pack in my early days in the chorus. If you're so curious about it all, Bitter Quip smiles, lifting an eyebrow. Perhaps you should visit our camp and see for yourself. What is your role in the chorus? I'm a blood chanter. My magic can turn the will of man and the tide of battle. I've held command for 3 years now, though being forced to keep an eye on the Disfavored is not the reward I had envisioned for my service thus far. Sounds like you really like the Voices of Nerat. Bitter Quip blinks several times and scowls, saying nothing. Alright, that's all for now. Bitter Quip nods as you depart.
Yes.
He does, like expressing his +1 wits.
Sorry, I can't.
His like for the voices.
Can't do that.
I'm really excited to meet that guy, because he has all those different personalities in his head.
It's all in the reflexes.
Archon's bronze sword. We'll just take it. Don't need to compare it. +1 quickness.
Sorry, I can't. Can't do that.
Alright, nothing else up there. Let's go talk to Marcus and who was the other guy? Lucia. Or Lucia. From your vantage point, you see tents trail off, obscured by the rising smoke of campfires. The soldiers you see appear somber and quiet, a calm before the storm. I am Lucia. This is Marcus. His favorite soldier points to the armored man next to her. And you must be the Fatebinder. From under her helmet, you hear an audible scoff. We've been assigned to babysit. Assigned to your hospitality, Marcus quickly interjects, while you remain on disfavored ground. You should need a place to rest. We can make the necessary preparations. What can we do for you? Marcus, tell me about yourself. Not sure there's much to tell you. I trained at Fort Resolution. This is my first campaign, and I'm proud to be with the Legion. I was wounded at the Gates of Judgment, but Graven Ashe's protection mended me good. I owe my life to him. Are you bragging that you let your guard down and took a spear to the gut? You really shouldn't boast about a filthy tearsman besting you in battle. Lucia rolls her eyes. You're just bitter that Lord Ashe never seems to notice you. In all seriousness, I would take that spear again if it brought honor to the disfavored. Kyros knows we could use it. We're the elite fighters of the Northern Army, but somehow we still lack the Overlord's confidence. He shakes his head and sighs. Lucia, tell me about yourself. I do this. She unenthusiastically lifts up her heavy shield. And I do this. She mockingly stabs at the air with her spear. Lucia shrugs. Playing host is not my strong suit. Ignore my sarcasm. I've seen the Legion through with my share of the campaign. After so much bloodshed, our pretenses of honor can wear me down. She turns a cautious eye your way. The North is my home, and I consider each and every one of the ironclad bastards in this camp to be family. You won't find another army where each member of the Phalanx is as beloved and cherished as the next. You seem handy with a weapon, Lucia. Hey, disfavored favor. So hard to say. If you ever want some pointers on how to use that weapon of yours, just let me know. She winks. Lucia, are you flirting with Tunon's Fatebinder? Relax, Marcus. There are plenty of camp slaves if I ever need to scratch an itch. Although, through the visors of her helm, you notice Lucia's eyes roving up and down your body. If you ever need someone to warm your bedroll, let me know. I sleep in my armor. Hope you don't mind. How have your skills fared in battle against the Oathbreakers, Marcus? Every battle is a reminder of the Legion's superiority. The Oathbreakers have plenty of heart, but nothing to beat our northern values and Graven Ashe's love. If you ever want to enjoy that feeling, I'd spare you the time of day to cross iron. What's it like serving with the disfavored? In spite of our name, the Legion commands more honor than any military in the face of Tyranny. Unlike the Chorus, there's tradition, discipline, teamwork, and unity of purpose. Marcus looks out across the camp. There aren't many of us, but it's better that way. We're a tightly knit family bound together by trust and glory. Accurate enough, Lucia shrugs. After seeing the disunity and bickering of the younger realm defenders, I feel lucky to be in the most agreeable Legion of Kyros' host, even if we're not always the most efficient. If the Legion boasts so much honor, why are they disfavored? I don't have enough reputation. I'm afraid that isn't easy for me to say. Others around camp might be able to tell you more, but I don't freely discuss the Great General's history to outsiders. But you'll say that it involves the Great General, which is already a telling clue, idiot. Drat. At least the Iron Marshal isn't within earshot. I'd be washing my mouth out with wormwood. Marcus, I'd like some training. Of course, Fatebinder. Marcus pounds his fist on his armor in salute. Oh, and it costs money, okay. Oh, it doesn't go all the way up. Or does it? Is it going to increase it by a whole... Oh, it does. Okay. Is it worth spending all my money on training? Well, let's see what she can train me in. Well, if it isn't the Fatebinder, what can we do for you? Lucia, I could use some training. Finally, some fun to break up the monotony of this siege. Okay, we'll go ahead and pump up athletics. Why not? Well, I feel like I wasted money there because it was almost leveled up anyway. I don't know if it's worth spending all my money on training right now, so we'll hold off on that. Just keep track that they,
Hey, over there.
Oh, here we go. So I have it set up so when I see something or find something with perception, or I guess subterfuge, the game will pause. That's what that was.
Sorry, I can't.
Is there any reason to rest? Should I have to rest for 8 hours? No, I don't need to. Alright, let's go to the tent and talk to the Archons. Fifth Eye, Iron Marshal, something. Yesterday you chided me for wishing to wait. Now you suggest an even longer delay. Perhaps the voices in your skull ought to come to a consensus if you wish to be taken seriously. Good advice is flexible, changing with the moment. Besides, now we're agreeing with yesterday you. Today something. We know you hate going into battle without overwhelming odds on your side. If you're so terrified of a challenge, why not? I can't read it fast enough. I don't need your heckling, I need your scouting reports. Or better yet, confirmation you quelled. Oh, that. We'll solve it in our own time and way. Must it? We must. Jeez. Mercy. You've already. You know what? I just can't read it fast enough. Oh, calm down now. We must leave something to rule. Or have you forgotten Kyros' orders? Patience, old chum. Jeez. Is there like a log for that? Oh, okay, cool. Alright, so these do pop up in the log. I was afraid they didn't. Alright, so let's just start from the beginning. So, Graven Ashe, yesterday you chided me for wishing to wait. Now you suggest an even longer delay. Perhaps the voices in your skull ought to come to a consensus, if you wish to be taken seriously. Good advice is flexible, changing with the moment. Besides, now we're agreeing with yesterday you. Today you should be happy. We know you hate going into battle without overwhelming odds on your side. If you're so terrified of a challenge, why not wait for your reinforcements? I don't need your heckling. I need your scouting reports. Or better yet, confirmation you quelled the Oathbreakers in the Outer Valley. Oh, that. We'll solve it in our own time and way. We must make at least a token effort to show them mercy after all. Mercy. They've already shat upon our mercy once before. These gutter-born South Knobs deserve nothing better than death. Oh, calm down now. We must leave something to rule. Or have you forgotten Kyros' orders? Patience, old chum. This battle report from Echo Call Crossing blames the failure of the assault on the village on the Scarlet Chorus. Apparently their scouts failed to report critical intelligence about the enemy composition. Oh, okay, can't loot yet.
That's 4 reports of avalanches in the mountains now. The Tearsmen can barely count past 9. They have neither the capacity nor the cause to close off the mountain passes. Either way, that leaves the 2nd and 4th cohort trapped outside the valley.
The Archon of War pounds his staff on the ground to punctuate his words. A large and imposing man to begin with. His profile is made larger still by his hulking suit of armor that hums with mystic energy. That looks really cool.
Or it's the work of your perfidious Earthshakers. Only a fool would not suspect a traitorous Archon of poisoning the mind of his students with sedition. We would have killed the Earthshakers Guild for their master's treachery, but I'm sure you have some perfectly valid reason for allowing them to live as your pawns.
The Archon of Secrets passes a scepter between his hands as he speaks, twirling the rod in hypnotic circles. Emerald luminescence seeps from the seams of the Archon's ragged red robes. The glow is most noticeable where his neck ought to be. His mask seems to float and spin, never pivoting or bending naturally. You hear the voices in your head. Well, hello there, Fatebinder. I'll be with you in just a moment. That's neat.
Hey, watch yourself. When these two get going, you don't want to get between them.
First whispers fearfully as she beholds the Archons. I'm not here to wait. I'm here to proclaim Kyros' edict. The valley was sealed in preparation for this moment. I got favor with both of them. Governor Donald, long have we been honored by your iron. Now we're honored by your presence. I must apologize for my lords. Tempers run high of late. Bow to the Archons. Apologies for the sudden entrance. I've traveled long to be here.
Ah, the Stormcaller. Conveniently late once more. Our eyes and ears tell us you come bearing an edict. The anticipation is killing us.
So that was interesting. I gained favor with both factions and with Graven Ashe, but I lost it with the Voices of Nerat with that action. Oh wait, he already read that. Never mind. So that was a conquest decision. On to the next.
My soldiers tell me you helped Commander Drotus on your way through Edring. You honor the court with your selfless cooperation, for that is the sort of camaraderie that Kyros demands of us all.
On the last of his words, the Archon of War glares at the Voices of Nerat. furrowing his brow as he utters the words camaraderie. I require no thanks for doing my sworn duty.
Modesty is your prerogative, but know that cooperation and goodwill have been rarities of late. You do your Lord Tunon a great honor by aiding your cousins in the Disfavored.
Oh, don't mind us while you trade your gushing praise. We're sure the Fatebinder has come because our company lacks in small talk.
I come bearing an edict of Kyros.
It seemed only yesterday you were proving your worth in battle, assisting my warriors in the siege of the bastard city. Now Kyros has chosen you for a second time to proclaim an edict. Tell us, good Fatebinder, what sort of punishment does the Overlord have in store for the Oathbreakers?
Alright, the Overlord's loyal servants must hold Ascension Hall by Kyros' Day of Swords, or all in the valley shall perish. The earth sways with each word you utter, the air thickening with warmth as you pronounce the tersely phrased commandment, its every syllable drafted by the hand of Kyros. With the edict proclaimed, your pulse quickens, and the muscles in your legs, worn from a long trip down the mountains, feel renewed, the tired limbs now nearly buoyant with vigor.
The Overlord means to compel us into action. No doubt the avalanches in the mountains are part of this ultimatum. We must conquer the Oathbreakers or die in failure. There is no room for error, and no other way out of this valley alive. We'll need to advance across the Mittani. We lose everything if we stand still, and we move to backup Plan Green. The Earthshakers didn't make it over the mountain in time, so we do this the hard way. Over the walls instead of through.
The Archon of War taps a finger against his temple. A low rumble escapes from under his beard.
So you found your backbone at last! Oh, we were worried past humiliations would make you soft, timid. That was a record for you, right? The baker's dozen lost in one sortie. If you had waited for the chorus reinforcements, maybe we'd have eyes and ears on the matter.
The Archon of Secrets passes his scepter from one hand to the next, chuckling softly with each toss. You hear the voices in your head. I like this little touch here. Watch him squirm. So many tears of replaceable, expendable, useless soldiers. I miss the old Archon of War. You never see blood echo in a blubbering mess over a few dead killers. He used the knuckle bones of his best disciples for jewelry, and even made a breastplate out of his dead brother's ribcage, because that's how a real man deals with grief. I might do this. I might call him out for this because I don't like how... Because he's perpetuating the bickering by talking about Graven Ashe like that, so... They call you the Archon of Secrets, but you certainly don't seem to know anything remotely useful.
I second the Fatebinder. Thought you had the memories of one of those Oathbreakers rattling about that bronze gourd of yours. Would Kyros' mighty spy master please enlighten this gathering of allies with some scrap of strategic insight?
The Archon of Secrets turns his head to the side, till the face of his mask is turned around, and a new facet of the mask presents itself as facing forward. When next the Archon speaks, the trembling voice of a younger man can be heard.
Our river was to be the bulwark, but with the tidecasters slain, what hope remains? It's so cold in here. Help me. Please.
The Archon turns his head far to the side, until the previous facet of his mask now looks forward.
Our sources tell us the Oathbreakers had some sort of magical trick in store. But this knowledge is tinged with fear, trepidation. If we make a move for the Mittani, we suspect the Oathbreakers will mount a counterattack that is equal parts valiant and futile.
That voice. Who was it?
That was Mittani Yanev, former noble of Apex and one of the leaders of the Vendrian Guard. Back when they were half-respectable enemies that knew how to lose with dignity. When the Guard first surrendered, Yanev presented himself to us. What he knew, we now know.
So I know I'm here to mediate between the two, but I did call out the Voice of Nerat for two reasons. One, he's in my head, Don't appreciate that. 2, while I do think it is neat how they add that to the dialogue. 2, he is perpetuating the bickering by trying to turn me against Graven Ashe. So I did call him out for that. There should be no secrets in this, this council meeting. So him talking to me in my head is it's not helping the cause. All right, that's enough talking. There's work to be done. My lord, see, I don't know if it's Barrack or Bark. I'm gonna assume it's pronounced Bark because I think it sounds a little cooler than Barrack. Though you know him only by name, Bark is a commander of the Stone Shields, and well regarded by the Disfavored High Command. My lord Bark and his band have been drilled on the Echo Call assault plan. The Crescent Runner should be briefing him as we speak, regarding the latest enemy movements along the river. I'll dispatch him at once. The Iron Marshal salutes, clapping her gauntlet to her breastplate. Now ensure the Corps stands ready to march. If the Disfavored can take the river, the Corps has the manpower to secure the outer ring of the valley.
Our soldiers clamor for battle, and at last we shall have it. Thus, we command you to continue guarding the Fatebinder. Tunan's Chosen is our honored guest, and must be shown our finest hospitality.
I won't let you down, boss. He'll get through the campaign in one piece, as long as he doesn't do anything too stupid.
The Archon twirls his scepter one last time, then taps the 5th eye on the shoulder, and the 2 depart. Hear the voices in your head. Suit yourself, Fatebinder. The more you ignore us. I do like his appearance, though. He looks really cool.
Finally, the fool and his puppet are gone. Perhaps now I can hear myself think. Rarely do I question Kyros' judgment, but I will never understand why the Voices of Nerat is given such authority. I shudder to think what will become of us all should Tunan favor him in the end. Though the edict threatens the Scarlet Chorus just as it threatens us, I cannot shake the feeling that our allies will work against us. But at least we have allies in the court. My best soldiers have never wanted for a good blade or suit of armor, and I know I have you to thank for it. I fear we will have to call on you for more than just a few works of iron. You've shown your worth in war, and your name has been known to the Legion since the very beginning of this long conquest. So I'd ask that you join us this one last time, to help us wrap up this last objective. If you wish to be counted amongst the glorious, speak with the Iron Marshal. She will direct the order of battle until we are ready for the final push into the Citadel.
I'm short a few scouts, short a few soldiers, short a few everything. I'm sure my brethren would be grateful for the assistance of a skilled outsider. And what of the Scarlet Chorus? How will they be helping?
I ask myself that question often. While we take the river crossing, the Scarlet Chorus should be using their sizable presence to remove the Oathbreaker patrols lurking in the outer valley.
The Oathbreakers have maintained a sizable force outside the Citadel. We need the Chorus's manpower to scour the region. Otherwise, the Oathbreakers will attack at our heels once we cross the Mittani. Well, I'd be honored to help. The Iron Marshal salutes Graven Ashe, then turns to leave the tent. I'll be at the training grounds, readying the soldiers. Find me there when you are ready. She pauses, clearing her throat. And though I am loath to mention it, the Chorus can likely use your assistance. They certainly won't secure the outer valley on their own. A 5th eye will be somewhere in that rat's nest they call a camp, due east. Seek him out, if you must. Earthshaker's Staff. Ironwalker's Crest. These bloody tufts of purple hair were taken from an Ironwalker's helmet. This crest can be sold to a merchant as spare parts.
On it.
Let's see if he has anything to say. The Archon of War lets out a long sigh as he surveys the maps and models displayed about his desk. I keep trying to fill in words automatically. He glances over his shoulder, making brief eye contact with you, furrows his brow, returns back to his contemplation. The first time you proclaimed an edict, You gave the enemy a suspicious amount of time to ready themselves. I chalk it up to excessive mercy for a backwards people. But when the edict is against your kin, that order you follow to the letter. About to the Archon. May we speak a moment? You've been a staunch ally of the Disfavored since the Bastard City. I consider you our ally at the court. My mind is in a poor mood for banter, but if you wish a moment of my time, you may have it. What is on your mind? Salute, turn to leave, that is all. For the glory of Kyros, the Archon of War taps the haft of his maul to the ground for emphasis, then turns back to his maps. Alright, so we'll speak to him in the next episode before we leave the tent and, I guess, pursue our quest objectives. Let me actually look at my quest. So it looks like we have a couple of quests. I wonder if we can do them in either order, or if the Battle of Echo Call will take us straight to the end of this quest line. Now we'll figure it out. Either way, I'm going to call the episode here. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you guys. Hold on, what is this? Oh, we have 8 days. Okay. We have enough subterfuge to go back. Not enough lore yet. I need 3 more lore. Oh, cool. So, Edict of Execution. The Overlord has decreed that all in the Valley on Kyros' Day of Sword shall die unless Kyros' representative holds Ascension Hall. And that gives us +1 resolve. Neat. I need 3 more lore before I can get that torque from that memorial shrine at the Edgering Ruin. So I don't want to go back. I'm not going to waste my time going back until I have 35 lore. Either way, thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys. Oh, she also has something to say. We'll talk to her next time. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next one.